Good morning, dear students. Dear student, today we shall move on to the one more new topic, that is reproduction in plants. So in the previous class we already studied that what are the concepts comes under the reproduction in plants in the previous classes, that is before starting the revision classes. So in this revision class today we are going to discuss the question and answers what they given in your textbook, and also solution for that one if there is a necessity of explaining that one, or we are going to discuss that one, so we should discuss that points. Okay, yes. So here in this one, in the first main question number 1, they given A, B, C, D, E. It's totally up to E. They given fill in the blanks. We should write the answer for those fill in the blanks. So first one is production of new individuals from the vegetative part of a parent is called vegetative propagation. That is called as vegetative propagation. That is production of new individuals from the vegetative part of parent is called vegetative propagation. And next one. A flower may have either male or female reproductive part. Such a flower is called as either a male reproductive part or female reproductive part. Such a plants or such a flowers, that flower having plants is called as unisex, or such flower is called as unisexual flower. That means that contains either male or female reproductive part. The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the same or of another flower of the same as kind is known as. That is transfer of pollen grains from leaves from flower to the same flower of same plant or another flower of same another plant. That process is called as, or that kind is known as pollination. Next one. The fusion of male and female gametes is termed as. The fusion of male and female gamete is termed as. That is fertilization. The fusion of male and female gametes is termed as fertilization. Next, seed dispersal takes place by means of. Seed dispersal takes place. That means transfer of seed that takes place by the process of. Only the three things will be there. That is, first one is wind, second one is water, and third one is animal. Wind, water, and animal. So we already discussed this point in that class also, and also in the Google Meet class I already explained that one. And question number 2, describe the different method of asexual reproduction, give example. That means we should describe, means we should list out that what are the methods of asexual reproduction. So in that one, first one is vegetative propagation. The meaning of vegetative propagation is it is a type of asexual reproduction in which new plants are produced from roots, stem, leaves and buds. Through the root, stem and leaf and buds, there will be a production of new plant. That process is called as, or that method is called as vegetative propagation. So here from the roots that a new plant is going S. So here also same thing. And next one is budding. Yes, screen kanta ide alva. Yes. So budding, organisms such as hydra, so here the bud will be divided into one more their parent, that separate from the parent body, and also that must be detached from the parent body, or that is called as detached from the parent body, and they are grown into independent individual. That is, organisms such as hydra, a bud develops as an outgrowth at one specific site. These buds develops into tiny individuals, and when fully mature, detach from the parent body and become a new independent individual. Then that become a new independent individual. Next method is fragmentation. So I have told in that class, in the YouTube class, that is I think class 3rd. These are all method we are discussed. That is fragmentation. So fragmentation means when water and nutrients are available, algae grow and multiple rapidly and break up into 2 or more fragments. That will be break up into 2 or more fragments. These fragments are pieces grow into the new individuals. Spore formation. The spores are asexual reproductive bodies. Each spore is covered by a hard protective coat to withstand unfavorable conditions such as high temperature and low humidity, both high temperature and low humidity. So they can survive for a long time under a favorable condition. A spore germinates and develops into a new individuals. So explain what you understood by sexual reproduction. That means what you have understood the meaning of sexual reproduction. That means, so when two parents are involved in reproduction here, so both male and female reproductive part are involved in the reproduction. The method is called sexual reproduction. The male and female gametes fuse during fertilization to produce zygote. That means here male and female gamete that will be fuse. That means in the male gamete the anther and stigma will be there. That anther in that anther the stigma will be transferred into the female reproductive part. In that one ovary that enters to that one and that convert into zygote. The zygote subsequently develops into an embryo. That will be developed into an embryo which further develops into a new individual. After that convert into embryo, then that is further develops into new individual. Then question number 4. State the main difference between asexual and sexual reproduction. We should write the main difference between asexual and sexual reproduction. That is first asexual reproduction and here one is sexual reproduction. So in the asexual reproduction only one parent cell is needed. Only one parent cell means either male gamete or female gamete. But in female sexual reproduction, two parents, both male and female gametes are required. Here both female and male gametes are required. Offspring is normally similar to parent. So in the asexual reproduction, offspring is normally as similar to the parents. But in sexual reproduction, offspring shows variation with respect to parents. So that must be shows variation with respect to parents means some characters are that resembles like either male or female parent. Some will be in the either in male parent and some characteristic that comes from the female parent. Here example is yeast, hydra, spirovera, etc. show asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, so animals, human beings, insects, etc. show sexual reproduction. Here also some plants will come, but mainly they given some important one. So dear students, and this question is compulsory as they will be asking for the 3 or 4 marks. So this question they will ask for 3 or 4 marks. Sketch the reproductive part of a flower. Sketch the reproductive part of a flower. That is stamen. So in this one, this is female reproductive part. This contain anther and filament. This is male reproductive part. And this is called female reproductive part. Here ovule will be there. In this ovule there will be a formation of zygote. That is fertilization will be takes place. And this is called as carpel. In this one upper part is called as stigma. And this one is called as style. And this one is called as ovary. In this ovary there will be an ovules will be there or eggs will be formation takes place, and this one is called as sepal and this one is called as petals. This is the reproductive part of a flower. So you should write same thing as like this. Then you get an completely 4. If they give 4 marks, you get 4 marks. Otherwise, if they give 3 marks, you get an 3 marks. So dear students, this concept, that is explain the difference between self pollination and cross pollination, this will be continuous for your yes, 8th and 9th also. In the 10th will be one concept will be there, so you should learn here only. Explain the difference between self pollination and cross pollination. Self pollination, cross pollination. Self pollination, pollen grains are transferred to stigma of same flower. So that means pollen grains that are transferred from stigma of the same flower, that means self pollination will be takes place. Cross pollination means pollen grains are transferred to stigma of a different flower. Here pollen grains are transferred to stigma of a different flower. Next here is pollinating agent is not required. So in the self pollination, pollinating agent is not required. That means here self pollination will be there, that will be transfer of pollen grains in the same flower. So there is no require of pollinating agent like wind, air, water, insects and animals. But in the cross pollination, pollinating agent is required. That has already told, wind, water, insects, etc. is required for cross pollination. Somewhat mistake will be there. This is required, not required anta ide. Don't write this, not, it's not a right one. So here example is peanut, sunflower. For this one cross pollination example is mango, rose. Most of the flowering plants are all cross pollinating. They involve in the cross pollination. And how does the process of fertilization takes place in flowers? How does the process of fertilization takes place in flowers? How means once pollen grains spread on the stigma, here will be the stigma. Once the pollen grains on the spreads on the stigma, it produces a pollen tube. This process is called germination of pollen grains, and that process is called as germination of pollen grains. And the pollen grains and the pollen tube penetrates the style and reaches the ovary, and this penetrates the style and that reaches the ovary. So next, male nucleus is transferred through this pollen tube, and finally this reaches to the ovary, and fusion of male and female nuclei takes place inside the ovary. Inside the ovary, so fusion of male and female nuclei takes place, and this step is called as fertilization. That means here only the fertilization takes place. Here only the fertilization will be takes place. And so this one is describe the various ways by which seeds are dispersed. So dispersed, that means there will be a various type will be there for the dispersion of seeds, by wind, by water, by animals, and by also birds, by bursting, and also by the activity of humans. The dispersion of seeds will be takes place. That will be various type will be there. So we shall going to discuss one by one. So you should copy same thing as they given in this one. So it's very simple and also very easy to learn. That's why. Okay. So you should write the question like this and answer like this. Dispersal by wind. So how the dispersion of seeds takes place? By the activity of wind. That is, seeds of some plants are lightweight. So there are some lightweight will be there, and some are airy like or air like or wing like structure are present on them. Such seeds float on air and are thus dispersed by wind. That means ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಗಾಳಿಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ಡಿಸ್ಪರ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಹೂತೋಗಿ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಗ್ರೋ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್. So example they given, maple and drumstick are the very familiar examples. So drumstick ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನುಗ್ಗೆಕಾಯಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So in that one, after that formation of seeds, that will be float on air and that will be dispersed in some areas. Dispersal by water, it's familiar and also very easy. That is, dispersal by water takes place in some aquatic plants and in some which grow near a water body. So seeds of water lily float and thus dispersed by water. The coconut seed has a tough fibers converting which has plenty of air inside. This helps the coconut seeds in floating on water. That means it's a coconut is also an example for the dispersal by water activity for the growing of new coconut tree. So dispersal by animal. Some seeds have spine-like structure on them. They get stuck to the fur of animals and thus get spread to different places. So that means dispersal by animals means they take an example of birds. So for fur ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫರ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ತುಪ್ಪಳದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅದು ತನ್ನ ಮೈಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವುದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ದಟ್ ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪರ್ಸಲ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪರ್ಸಲ್ ಬೈ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್. Next, dispersal by bursting. Some fruits burst open when they mature. The force of bursting is enough to spread the seeds. Example, lady finger, castor, balsam. So balsam ಅಂದರೆ ಗೊರಟೆ ಹೂವು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ the seed of that one will be burst. Next, dispersal by humans. Human beings also help in dispersal of seeds, especially during farming ಅಂದರೆ during agriculture. So they will be disperse the seeds and the growing of particular crops in their land. That is also an example for the that is this various method of dispersion of seeds. Match items in column 1 with those in column 2. We should match these two. So column 1 they given bird, eyes, fragmentation, wings, spores. We should match the corresponding to that one. So bud means the growing of new plant through the help of bud. His example is yeast, algae, hydra, but here they given only yeast. Eyes, through the eyes means through the roots. So potato will be developing. Next, fragmentation. This is one and only Spirogyra. Wings. So wings means ಗಾಳಿಗೆ ಹಾರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ like that. Just we discussed in the previous question what they given. So wings example is maple. Spores, bread mold. So alwa bread mold spores irutte alwa, you already know that. And next one is, so question number 10, tick. So dear students, copy this one and write the next one. That is question number 10. Tick, write the correct answer. That is the reproductive part of a plant is the. Which is the reproductive part of a plant? Which is the reproductive part of a plant? So root is not a reproductive part of a plant because that root is buried inside the soil. So stem is not a reproductive part of a plant because only hydra is an example for that. And leaf involved only in the preparing of food or for the photosynthesis concept. In the photosynthesis concept, leaves are involved. So at the last one is remaining is flower. Therefore, the reproductive part of a plant is flower. Next, the process of fusion of the male and female gamete is. So process of fusion of male and female gamete, either it is not only a male, it is not only a female, but for process of fusion of both male and female gamete is called fertilization because reproduction means that already producing new one. Pollination means transfer of pollen grains from one flower to the another flower in the same plant or one flower from to the another flower of the different plant. So these three are not the answer. Answer is last remaining one is fertilization. Therefore fertilization is the correct answer. Mature ovary forms the, here mature ovary not forms the seed. Here after the seed there will be a formation of flower. Their pistil is the part of the flower. It is an one part of the flower. So therefore these two are not an answer. And stamina, this is an male reproductive part. This contain only, this is present in the male reproductive part. Therefore this not become an mature ovary, but the answer is fruit. So last one is alva remaining ulididdu. Therefore fruit is the correct answer for mature ovary. A spore producing plant is, a spore producing plant is, so rose is not a spore producing plant. So potato, eye through the eyes, this is through the bud. Ginger is not an observer, it is totally, we didn't hear this concept, ginger concept in this chapter, but last one is one and only is bread mold. Next, bryophyllum can reproduce by its, absolutely dear students, by the leaf, by the leaf or by the leaves. This is the answer for that one. So dear students, copy these questions so clearly and write these question and answer in your notes with neatly by using red ink and blue ink. So don't forget to complete the notes. Okay, if you have any doubt, you should watch once again and pause the video, and you should complete the notes and maintain neatness in your notes and maintain the notes very neatly. If you have any doubt, once again you watch the video. Okay, thank you students. Happy day.